The United States comes to dominate the world after World War II. We come to the 1971 infamous Nixon shock.
Correct.
That ends the official gold standard. And then we have the origin of the petrodollar. How did the United States create this?
So you had the Bretton Woods system, which was dollar-centered. All the currencies were fixed to the US dollar. What was dollar fixed to? To gold. Now, who could exchange actually dollars into gold? Well, of course, it was only central banks. It wasn't ordinary people. What happened was that essentially the US, the Fed, created a lot of dollars. A lot of dollars were created because whoever is issuing dollars, so that's the US, can just create more dollars and the rest of the world will have to accept it. Part of the dollars that were created were used to buy European assets. In Britain, in Germany, in France, anywhere. Most countries were allies, or if you want, vassals. But France was different. So then they had to act. And what is the action? Well, you're giving us all those dollars, the predecessor of the digital dollar, in exchange for all the real assets we're giving you. Well, what we can do is exchange those dollars into gold. But then in August 1971, the US leadership decided, okay, well, that's it. So Richard Nixon went on the television and made the famous announcement, in order to defend the dollar against speculators, we're going to temporarily suspend the convertibility of the dollar into gold. Of course, the dollar falls. It was a default. This was a default by the United States of America on its obligations. So what was the backup plan? Step one, you guys go out and print money now. Now guess what? What do we have in the 70s? Is inflation. So that was the first policy to support the dollar. The others had to also print a lot of their currency. Step two, industrialized countries, so you import raw materials, you process them, and you export highly finished goods. So what raw materials do they really need? Energy, oil. They desperately need oil. If America could sell them the oil, we could balance the trade deficit. So essentially, effectively, Saudi Arabia, the biggest oil producer in the world, was made part of the United States. US troops arrived in Saudi Arabia, looked around. So the US was saying, oh, nice country you have here. Be a shame something happened to this. We're going to protect you, US troops in the country. And suddenly, the Saudi Arabian government was US run. That was the agreement. But there's some benefits. We're going to sell the oil only against the US dollar from now. Well, 80% of those you will invest in the best investment in the world.
Treasuries, baby.
US treasuries.
Such a scam.
That was the deal. There was some Saudi Arabian resistance, but you can see how the deep state works. The CIA was backing this, and they cracked down on any resistance to this.